Welcome to Mod of the Week. This week, we're doing skid plates. There are a lot of different options for skid plates. There are at least 5 or 6 that I know of. The most common one that people get is the Msr Racing one. Here's the OEM plate. The thing you're really trying to cover up, the only thing that can really get damaged on the bottom of the engine is the water hoses. When I did 4 Mile South, I ended up tearing off one of the hoses, and it was really hard to get it back together so I could get out of the trail. So that was this skid plate. Solved that problem. You see, even only after a few months of use, off-roading, it's all ding-dong kind of to hell. Made of aluminum. It's the best one for the cheapest price. It's not the best one overall, but I would say the best one overall is probably the one made by TCI Products, which has these side engine guards, these bars that go over the engine, will go and wrap around over the side case of the engine, protect that from if the bike does fall over and it hits a rock just right here. I've seen a few pictures on Kawasaki forums and elsewhere where someone has cracked their case on one side or the other, particularly this generator cover because it sticks out so far. So that one's nice, and the other advantage of that one is that you can, if you want, put on auxiliary lighting. I haven't seen anybody do it yet, but I heard somebody mention it, and I think that, and I've considered changing to that one. I mean, I might do it eventually. It's quite expensive, and I'm not sure it'll work with my other mods that I'm trying to do with the skid plate. But since it has these bars on it, you can attach stuff to it, like spotlights, and have a couple auxiliary or fog lights down lower to make yourself more noticeable, or just to be able to see the ground immediately below you if you're doing night trail riding. That's the one that I would really recommend if you were willing to spend the $300 to get it. As far as skid plates go, the cheapest one that I know of is the Msr Plate, which doesn't have as much material to it. It doesn't go out as wide as the Msr Plate, and it's only like 10 or 15 bucks cheaper, in all honesty. The other one that I consider is the Msr Racing one. I haven't seen it in use, but it goes up and it covers much more area than this one does. The Msr Racing one goes up to like here, and all the way around a bit more. It does have a couple grooves out of it. Funny thing is, when I took this off, it was all full of grease from chain flicking off. Another company that makes one with holes in it, some people like just because they want to save on weight, and they're really only concerned about the water pump. So a couple holes cut out of the plate. And that's 5 companies. And there are others. There's probably at least 1 or 2 others that I haven't mentioned. And it's just because skid plates are very easy to make. Attaching these, the thing will scratch against your frame. One thing I did notice when I took this off was that these were all scratch marks on the frame right here. Just because it rubs against it, it has some shifting. So the way to solve that is to use this sort of foam tape. The fortunate thing for me is I have all these places already marked. So some companies do sell foam. It's supposed to go there, but this stuff works just fine. And also the other thing is that these things don't fit absolutely perfectly. So this allows it some give. Then we go and we set it on like where it's going to be, the frame. So I can go underneath and I can look at it and make sure that all the contact points are, or at least the potential ones, are covered. Also the places where it's binding directly to the frame, I want to put a little bit of foam as a spacer in between the plate. Even though it's taped double-sided, I don't think I'll remove the other side. So I would attach this, but I have to do the other box, which is the toolbox.